YouTube. My name is Daniel. Welcome back to my channel, Guilty Feet. I've got no rhythm. Today was Purim and St. Patrick's Day. Very unusual for them to fall on the same day, and a very bad time to be a teetotal Jew of Irish descent. I'm going to take you through my reads of the last week, as it's going to be Friday when I publish this. So first up is Libertie by Caitlin Granger. There's a sticker over things, Libertie, Libertie. This was one of the books I purchased on Boxing Day in Barnes & Noble in Union Square for half cover price. So this sold for $26.95 and I would have got it for $13.50. Yeah, it was okay. It's a story of Libertie Sampson, a young girl who lives with her mother in Brooklyn in sort of just before the Civil War, during the Civil War, and after the Civil War. She's a freeborn black American girl whose mother is a doctor, and whose mother very much wants Libertie to grow up and follow in her footsteps. And she's an austere mother and a tough mother, but a loving one. But Libertie, if you can tell by her name, wants to be free. A lot goes on. There's a lot of story involved here, and I just didn't buy all of it. I thought some of the writing was nice. There's a whole thing just in the last third of the book where Libertie goes off to Haiti, and things that happen there, and her life there, and I guess in the end the whole thing is about a woman in pursuit of her own agency and sense of freedom and discovering herself. But it was a long way round to get there, and I didn't love this. This was in the tournament of books this year, but already got knocked out in the first round. Other things that have happened this week. So the trees got through. No one is talking about this. Got through the second round. Beat the book I read about that was all set in Slack. Someone is typing, whatever it was. So that got through. Clara and the Sun just got knocked out. What else? And Matrix got through as well. So in the next round, on Tuesday, I think, Matrix is going up against the trees, which is a problem for me because those are my two favourite books in the tournament. Anyway, Libertie is already gone from the tournament. I don't not recommend it, but it's quite ordinary. After that, I read Gravesend by William Boyle. I don't know if you can see the title of the book. Yeah, Gravesend by William Boyle, which was bleak as really, really bleak, nasty, grim, sort of noirish tale set in New Jersey. It starts off with a man released from prison after 16 years, where he caused the death of another young boy in New Jersey, or a teenager, and it was considered a hate crime. He'd been bullying a gay young man who then wanted in traffic. Anyway, he said he goes away for 16 years and he's now released, and the brother of the dead man is seeking revenge. So all these tropes we've seen before, the killer returning to the old neighborhood, the brother wanting revenge. How is it going to play out? Where will it? Well, it doesn't play out in any way that you would expect. There are other peripheral characters as well. There's an actress, a failed actress who was from the neighborhood and has been out in LA for years and has come back because her mother's died, is moving in with her father. There are other people in the neighborhood. This is a very, I guess, a familiar milieu. There's a lot of Italian Americans in New Jersey. You can't help but think of The Sopranos, and the book references The Sopranos very explicitly, the extent that there's one episode where the characters talk about something they're going to do, and they say, yeah, it'll be just like the way they did it in that episode of The Sopranos, and one says, well, I hope it doesn't end up the way it did there, and then they do the thing that they'd seen in the episode of The Sopranos, and it does turn out exactly the way it. I mean, it's more than homage. It's like ripping off an entire chunk of thing and then telling your reader that you're doing it while you're doing it, which was an odd choice. It wasn't a perfect book by any stretch, but there was, and it was so depressing and so dark that was hard to read. But I've heard good things about the author, and there's comparisons on the back here to Lehane and Pelikanos, two authors that I love. I'm not sure this is the book that's going to do it for me, but I've heard this was his first novel, I believe. But Boyle has gone on and written another couple of things which I think are really where I'm going to get my money's worth. So this was the one I picked up, and it was the first one. I'm pleased I read it. As I say, unrelentingly grim and misery laden, but I think there might be some lighter moments to be had in some of his subsequent work. So I'm going to give him another shot and pick up one of his later books and try that. But that was Gravesend by William Boyle. After that, I read New Kid by Jerry Craft, which, according to the back of this, is aimed at ages 8 to 12. I picked this up in Book Off on 46th Street, is it? For $3.99. This won the Newbery Medal a couple of years ago, 2018 or 2019, and I'd heard good things about it. It's a graphic novel. That's all. I think that art is probably done on a computer. None of this is hand drawn, and the art is fairly basic, but the story is terrific. This is Jordan. He's an African American kid who's leaving his neighborhood and going to a very exclusive private school. And it's all about his journey and his experience and where he comes from and where he goes and the friends that he makes in this new school, the majority of which are white, but there are one or two African American kids, and how they circle each other and how they become friends, and then how the teachers relate to them if two black kids are talking to each other in school. And there's a lot. It's very gentle. It's very light touch, but it doesn't shy away from questions of race and microaggressions. And one of the black kids complaining that the teacher always calls him by the name of another black kid 2 grades higher, and then one of the teachers, an African American teacher, who says the same thing happens to him, that they always get his name wrong and mix him up with the athletics coach, even though he's a maths teacher. That kind, it's so all that kind of racial tension is dealt with humor. It's not that's not downplaying it. It's there, and it's all part of it, and how you negotiate it, and that's part of their life and their story in school. Very deftly handled, I think, very smartly done, so that there are no real bad guys. No one's evil. Jordan is not having a miserable time. He's struggling to find his place in the world and place in his school as a new kid, and but he talks to his parents and he's got healthy relationships in his life, and it was a really, really lovely work. That's New Kid by Jerry Craft, highly recommended. And then after that, I've just started Parakeet by Marie-Helene Bertino. I read her previous novel, which is 2 a.m. in the Cat's Pajamas, which I loved. I love that book, and I'm looking forward to getting. I think this is going to be a bit of magic realism. Blurbed on the back by Lauren Groff, Mira Jacob, who also blurbed Libertie, I think. Yes, she's on there as well. On back of Libertie, we've got Jacqueline Woodson, who I've read, Brandon Taylor, I never read, Mira Jacob, I haven't read, Kesey Lehman, Nafisa Thompson-Spires, Garth Greenwald, who I have read as an odd choice, and Morgan Babston. On the back of this, Parakeet, we've got Lauren Groff. We love Red Matrix this year, Mira Jacob, I haven't read, but it seems like I should read. Good talk. And then Laura Vandenberg, who I don't know at all. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do this weekend, and read a bunch of other stuff, and that's my Friday reads for this week. Short and sweet. Take care, stay well, stay safe. God bless, bye.